Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about AMC. I'm going to go over exactly what I'm seeing on the chart, how I saw this coming down to $32, $33, and where I expect it to go from here, where I'm looking to get into options, where I'm looking to sell those options, and how I see us moving over the course of the next few weeks, especially after earnings, because that's when I see most of the movement coming on AMC. And then also after I go over AMC, I will cover the stocks that I personally traded today and the stocks that I am in as of right now and where I see them going. So like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already.
All right, so the first thing I want to do before I hop into the charts is just go over a little bit of my perspective and what I'm looking at on AMC. Now, I anticipated for us to come down to 32, 33. I really want to see this area hold, but I want people to understand that there's no reason to constantly be worrying about the stock like this. If you're long-term, holding is the best mentality, and I really don't even recommend coming to the YouTube channel because I'm breaking down the everyday viewpoint, the weatherman, if you will, of AMC. And that's really what I do here. I also trade options on AMC, but it's worth mentioning if you're a long-term holder, I don't think you should worry yourselves with YouTube and just with the ins and out of what's going on. You need to be patient and just see what's happening with the stock on the long-term perspective. Now, YouTube most likely will just cause you to lose some brain cells and, you know, on the worst case scenario, cause you to worry a little bit. I had a lot of people concerned with the long-term perspective after they watched my previous video saying that we were going down to 32, 33, asking should they sell those positions and try to get back in on the bottom. When it comes to my long-term positions, I'm not selling, I'm not flipping, I'm holding those positions. The only positions that I'm getting in and out of is options. That's what I'm doing. And then you have your people saying that options are bad for the stock. Actually, guys, that's false. Options are the reason you got pushed to $70, and that's going to be the reason you probably shoot even further. Now, everyone holding the stock, including myself, that's another major catalyst for this to continue holding these key ranges. But on top of this, options are going to be what really start to push this thing to a key level like $100, $150, and then further from that, maybe possibly in the future. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the charts. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go over these indexes, and then we're going to go to AMC. The indexes have everything to do with the chart, just so you know. Now, I anticipated AMC would come down to $32, $33. Now, the thing that really helped this happen is this right here. You had the Dow coming down pretty heavily. And then if we go over to the Nasdaq, you can see it had a really heavy decline going into today as well, bouncing up at the end of the day. Now, let's take a look at AMC. AMC has not started to recover yet. That's just a fact of what's going on. You've seen a straight shot down. You hit that zone perfectly, bottoming right there close to that, 32.50 range, 32.70, give or take. And now you have room to go back up. Now, this was a key point of focus for me. I wanted us to hit this range between Tuesday and Wednesday. I would have preferred Wednesday be the day we hit this. However, I do think the infrastructure bill will be passed by Senate sometime this week, which will be a very bullish catalyst on the market when that does happen. Until then, I did see some downside. Also, Biden had some news about the eviction for bans and trying to get the bans on evictions nationwide. So that kind of picked us up near the end of the day, just so everyone knows. So this is actually most likely going to start pushing us back up. I don't see a government close down happening. I just see that being a kind of worrisome FUD part of the market, just so everyone knows. Now, people are saying, Tyler, are you buying options in this range? Now, I mentioned yesterday, I don't want options until Friday, maybe even Monday. Why? Because IV crush will kill you, because I don't see us just shooting back up like this. Now, is it possible that we just start shooting back up to 37, 38 tomorrow? It's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen just with what's going on AMC. Now, what I want to do really quick is take you to some of the last earnings. Now, what happened here? I just use the past as a great example. You've seen sideways action always going into earnings. You shot up a little bit sideways and you started that trend back to the upside. Let's go to even the more previous one, right? So right here, you got a little bit more bullish action, if you will. You kind of bottomed sideways out. You came up a little bit and then you came back down, but ultimately that uptrend continued. You kept going up. So that was good as well. Now, the thing that I want to focus on this one right here was you already were in that uptrend. Earning just kind of boosted you up a little bit more. So I anticipate for the remainder of this week, or at least until Thursday, sideways action. I don't see the trend changing right now. I think it'll be some sideways action. I would love to see this range hold here. If we can hold this range and above 32, 33 bucks, I think this puts you in a great position to start shooting back up to 38, 39, 40 bucks over the next 3, maybe 2 days, going right after earnings. I think the outlook on earnings for AMC will be very positive, and this is what's going to be carrying the momentum most likely into that next wave if we get them. You're also seeing a lot of options come back on the board, specifically for September. Then you have more going into January at the beginning of this coming year, but Septembers are the ones that I'm looking at right now. A lot of those are out of the money. Those start to get in the money, more covering happens, especially on the options end, which inevitably pushes this thing up, and that's really what you want to see, the gamma squeeze on the gamma to just keep happening, and that's really what's going to set this intact. But there's a few things I want to talk about at the end of the video regarding AMZN and why I think this thing could really start running even more. Okay, before we hop out of here, I want to talk about a few things, specifically Snapchat. We talked about this yesterday. You were about at this range. You closed here. You came down a little bit further. We got out of this trade. It looked really good. That was a good trade for the day. We mentioned this in the last video. You came down kind of to get this double bottom. I think there's more room to go down. Indexes are bouncing. That's why I got out of this. RCL, cruise lines. You had Carnival Cruise Lines as well. Obviously, we talked about this yesterday. You know, you saw a major drop down to about $72. Congratulations if you traded that. Another great trade. Travel just in general was hurting. It was a really good area to target, and that's why I liked it. Now, going into tomorrow, these are some stocks that I'm looking at personally. I do have Disney right now. I got into Disney at options at about this point here. I saw it breaking above. It looked extremely strong. I had to get into it. I think this is a huge area of support. I don't like them doing the mandatory vaccines. However, I think it's oversold. You have earnings coming up. I'm not playing this for earnings. I want to see a touch of 175, maybe 174 before getting out of those options. But it definitely has more room to go up, in my opinion. The next stock is going to be DraftKings, DKNG. I think this thing is oversold as well. You're getting somewhat of a double bottom. I wasn't able to get into this one before the end of the day, but I will be looking tomorrow. I want to see a push at least up to around 49. Possibly 49.3. You might even make a double top up here, or triple top, whatever you may call it. That's what I really love, and I think it looks really good. These are a few stocks that I'm looking at. As far as bearishness on the market, I do think there is a lot of sentiment that's bearish on the economy. However, with Joe Biden doing the eviction ban, that's going to kind of stimulate this for the next few days and kind of cue us to get a little bit more bullish because indexes are hitting those all-time highs once again. Okay, so I just want to keep covering the stocks that I'm personally trading because I know there's people out there that are interested in other stocks besides AMC, especially on the options end. Now, those aren't long-term investments. Those are short-term trades for me specifically, and what I'm doing and just trying to share some wealth of knowledge if I can in any way possible. But about AMC and with AMZN. Now, I want to point something out. With this next upside push, AMC has nothing to dilute. It's looking like they've milked their pockets dry. It's looking like they have no way to dilute whatsoever. That's the most bullish news that there is. So when this thing starts happening, before I was saying AMZN's going to dilute. He has to dilute. It makes sense for the company. He has to do it. They need to get as much money as they possibly can. But the one thing the goober was doing was diluting at very low prices, $12, I think some at $20. And then he also ended us with the dilution at around $70. That was the brutal one. So keep that on your mind. So once this thing starts building up and pushing up once again, and I'm not giving an exact date or anything like that, but it's worth mentioning there's not really negatives to go against us. So keep that on your radar. That's what I'm looking for, and it has me extremely excited for that next level push. Now, obviously, I'll let everyone know. The Twitter link is down below if you want to get those updates when I'm getting into those trades. I always post my AMC ones there as well, though that's the one that I make sure that I'm always posting on Twitter is at least the AMC. If I don't post the other ones, it's just because I'm focused more on the Discord, but I'm always on Twitter 24/7, trolling, posting trades, giving ideas and things like that. So I recommend that if you're trying to just stay updated on the market as a whole. But I do like what I'm seeing with AMC, and I like what I'm seeing from the economy right now. Joe Biden did step in with that eviction ban. It was looking pretty brutal for evictions if he did not step in there. So that's going to stimulate the economy for the rest of the week. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. We'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.
I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but I don't